Hey, good morning, everybody. Or maybe good afternoon. How's everybody doing today? This is Rick. Today is Monday, November 7th, 2022. I have to apologize. I'm still nursing a bit of a cold here. Welcome, everyone, to the Monday live webinar. Please ask questions. Hey, Malcolm. Hello, Ed. How you doing? Bob, Rickster, how you guys doing over there? Hey, Pam. Hi. Hi. All right. What do you guys want to do today? Anything? Anything in particular? One thing I would take a nap. Yeah. A nap sounds good. Nap sounds really good, actually. I'll tell you what. Would anyone like to share what gives you an edge in the market? Your tools, for instance, my charting. I mean, I'll start it off. Charting, I use TC 2000. I think that's a tool. Within TC 2000, I use things like the Trendicator. I think that's a tool. Anyone want to share a couple of tools you use that gives you an edge? I think these give me an edge. I just use TC 2000. I don't know if it's the best tool out there for charting, but for me, it works just fine. Anyone else? And Malcolm, you can't stay with a nap. It's got to be something else that gives you that edge. Let's see, Malcolm, Morning Analysis by Doug and Ed on the in the blogs. Okay, cool, good idea. Yeah. Larry says whiskey, that gives you an edge. For some things, it might. All right, so here's what I'm hearing so far. Everybody is so ashamed of what they use, you're not willing to put it down there. Is that right? Because so far, there's nothing that I've seen. Is that Is that the case? And if you don't want to talk about this, just say, hey, I don't want to talk about it. But, don't ignore. Don't do that. Let's see, Thinkorswim charting. Okay, all right. Hi, Pam. You're new. But Pam, and thank you, Pam. Appreciate it. Do you have anything you use? And there is no wrong answer. It's impossible to have a wrong answer. Is there anything you use that that gives you an edge on trading right now? Is there anything at all? It could be anything. Okay. Hey, Meetab, how are you? And welcome aboard, by the way. Let's see, Doug and my morning YouTube videos. Okay, all right. How about, and I appreciate that, you guys, I do, but how about your charts? I mean, what the heck here gives you an edge? What would make you want to buy or short Wells Fargo? What would make you want to buy or short Apple? Pam says no real edge, but you use MACD. Actually, that can be an edge, Pam. Yeah. Yeah, that could give you an edge. Yeah. Mike says trend. Is it Shandu? Shandu? Moving averages and price action. Okay. Yeah. Nan says candlesticks. Okay. Those are all good. Yeah. Malcolm uses the Trendicator, T-line, trend lines, candle patterns. Constantly working with technical analysis. Yeah, I have to agree with Malcolm on that one. No matter what you use, I think you're always, working on your charts and always bettering yourself. Always, yeah. Mura, VectorVest software, okay. Analysis, price action, candlesticks, major signals and patterns. Larry uses MACD, momentum, 20, 5, 20, 30 readings. Okay, thanks, Larry. Money management, controls your emotions, JB, thanks. What else? Okay, cool. So, I think this is all really important stuff. I really, really do. And I think that by sharing, it helps other people. Okay, I think it truly helps. So this is why I want to bring this out. Is you share. If you sit back and you don't share, one, you're doing yourself a disjustice, because when you share, you're actually learning something, because you won't post it unless you truly believe it. All right, and I mean you most people won't. Nimrods do on Facebook and crap like that. But this is where you've got to be serious. It's our money, so we have to be very serious. Let's see, Justin, can you go over the pre-configured number 10 near breakout? I absolutely will. Absolutely will. Justin, absolutely. Any more tools or anything? And that's okay if not. It just, I was getting the impression there that no one uses charts at all. No answers, so I had to draw you out. So, I use charts. I use price action. I use chart patterns. Then there's, here's the way that we used to, let's see. Here's a way that we used to look for charts. Just start like this and do this. That's the way we used to. And that would give me an edge. That is an edge. If you know what you're looking for, for instance, in this case, I'm stopping on ACMR because this is what I'm looking for. I like the idea that we have a double bottom. I like that, or a high or a low, and then a higher bottom, if you want to call it that. I like it that we've broken out of these highs right here. These are things that I look for in a chart. I like it that we're up over the trend indicator and the trend indicator's green. I like that. So as long as you know what you're looking for, I think that's really cool here. I do. Anyway, that's what I do. Over the years, we even got to where we could write scans with TC2000, and there's other programs that you can write scans with. I certainly have a boatload of those. There's no doubt about that. The thing of it is no matter how you wrote those scans, you would end up with a list like this. And no matter what, you would still have to do this right here. You'd still have to do that. And when you found a chart that met your criteria, granted the list was smaller, that I have to admit. The list was smaller, but you still had to go through things like this until you found that one you like. Like I like that chart right there. This would be a J-hook breakout chart. And then came along the old scanner. I'm gonna get rid of this here. Then came along the old scanner. There we go. And it made that gave an edge over say just flipping through charts. Now I want to share a little bit about scanner. I've been using a scanner now for, I'll bet 20 years. Maybe a little longer. It hasn't been this LTA scanner, the live trading alerts, because live trading alerts wasn't created back then. So I think one of the things having an edge in the market is being relaxed, not having to worry about anything, sort of, allow things to happen. And then you can just calmly go in there and take a look at things. And we can put this one up too. And So this is where the scanner comes in. So all that stuff that you guys have, and Calvin says floor trader pivots and opening range. Okay, thanks, and I appreciate that, everybody. I really do. But I think too. I would, as a trader of over 30 years, I would like to make just a thought here. There's more than one thing that gives you an edge. So floor traders buy it, floor pivots by themselves, vector vest by itself, trendicator by itself, price action by itself doesn't give you an edge. It's grouping everything together that gives you the edge, and that's what we need to put together as a trader is what are the tools, your tools. A plumber doesn't have just one tool. A mechanic doesn't have one tool. A doctor, geez, I'm glad a doctor doesn't have just one tool. Man, what would it be? I don't know. I wouldn't, yeah. Yeah, we everyone has their tools. So you've got to have those tools. You've got to use those tools. And so anyway, I just think that's kind of important to really think about the tools that you have and use those tools. Use them to their biggest ability. So Justin there asked if I would go look at the pre-configured number 10. This is what he's talking about. Thank you. I'm going to bring this over here. Pre-configured number 10, which is right here is where it is. Number, wait a minute here, Justin. Hold on. Could have sworn you said breakout. Hey, Justin, will you type it for me again, what you want? Oh, there it is. Pre-configured number 10, near breakout. Number 10. Gonna have to help me. Near buy zone. Okay. All right, there you go. So I'm going to click on that, and it just loads up everything for you. It's pretty easy. Okay? It's pretty easy. Hey, Justin, I want to send out a thank you to you because last Monday you asked the same thing. Not number 10, but I remember you asked about that. So that tells me that you are working the system. You're looking for something, and I think that's fantastic. So kudos to you there. Kudos to you. When you find what you want to look for, let me know, okay? And yeah, when you find your grouping, when you find what you settle on, please let me know. I would really like to hear about it. So I don't use this, so I'll go through each one of these and let's take a look at what it does. And you can see there's no tickers on here. Well, that tells me it's not going to work for me. I can open this up a little bit, and I'm going to do that because I would rather have something coming through there. I still have no tickers, so to me, this is not going to be a good scan, but we'll go over everything here. So here we're asking for a bull trend. That's all it is. Here's the definition of it. The average closing, I'm not going to read every one of these, okay? You can do that. There's a definition of it. This one here is looking for a bull average trend. This is a very tight scan. Definitely not a tool for me. Not in any way is this a tool for me. You're looking for an average trend of the moving average exponential 17 rising for the past 7 days. You're looking for a white candle, which just suggests bullishness for the day. You're looking for near and above the 10 period moving average, very close to it, or near above the 8, very close to it. So really you're looking for a moving average bounce as far as I'm concerned, but I can simplify this. This is somebody's put together thing, or near the 13 exponential, or near the 15. So you see what someone's trying to do here? They're trying to find price near the 15 exponential, or near the 13, or near the 8, or near the 10. It's like, okay, you know what I mean? I think if you tell me a little bit more what you want, I can create you a scan that works. This one here, it's way too tight. It's doing things, there's something in it not set up. So me, I'm not going to go for this one, just so you know. But yeah, with nothing in there, that just tells me it's too tight. So let's find another one if you want to work with it, and we can do that. Or you tell me what you want, and I will create you a scan right here. That's how easy it is. All right. One of the things I want to do today is I sent an email out, and I mentioned to folks that today, if you come to the webinar, there'll be a couple ebooks for you, and I'm downloading this to right here, right now. There is the pinball ebook. I'm going to give everybody that right there. If you want it, you can certainly download it. Here in a few minutes, I've got another one here. The Blue Ice Failure we'll post in there. So a couple of ebooks for you guys if you want them. So Justin, I will certainly take a look at another scan if you want another scan. Does anyone have any other questions or anything? So far it's been me just asking questions. Let's see, JP says, also use this that I developed to visually tell me trend and market gauge. Nice, JP. I can see a picture of it there. Okay. I think JP might be on to something there. He's sharing a picture over here in another in another room where it uses this. He developed visual to tell me the trend and market change. Let me talk about that for a second. So I'm going to look at the diamonds because I know the diamonds are set up this way. I use this right here, developed right here on the chart. I mean, every time I look at a chart, I can tell you that it's doing what it should be doing. So the trend indicator is moving up. That gives me that. I can look over here on the SPY, and I'm going to look at the scanner now. And it's very hard for you guys to see. It's kind of hard for me to see, but it is the size of it, and I can't change it. It's the way it is. You see right there, it says 53 and 47. So while the diamonds are moving up in trend, all right, diamonds are moving up in trend, I can look at price and I can tell you that I'm uncommittal at the moment. I don't think this is a committal candle. I don't think the price action is committal. Kind of wishy-washy. I'm going to come over to this tool, which, like JP said there, he created. I wish I could say I created this. I didn't. Ed created this. But I can see that this is the SPY. And I can see that 52% of the SPY is red versus 47% being green. So I can see that we're bullish, but I can see that price action is non-committal, and I can see that we're really non-committal right up here. So just like JP developed something, we've got something over here that might be telling me to pump the brakes a little bit. Why would I want to go out there and trade if my tools aren't telling me to trade? Let me give you an example, another example here. I have this right here. I'm going to make this stay on top. Now, if anyone here that follows me on social media, you know that this weekend, Facebook, we have 2 Facebook pages actually. We have Twitter, we have LinkedIn. I sure thought there was another, but maybe not. I posted several stocks with targets. And this right here is the tool I'm going to use to look for buys. Now, I used not this particular tool. I used live trading alerts tool to tell me about these stocks. Okay, and now I'm going to use this tool for an entry. And here's how I might do that. Now you can see FCX is up here, but FCX has a red arrow. So how am I going to use that for an entry? Well, this is coming from our gap and trap scan. So what has to happen is we've got to have a gap and then a pullback into the trap is what we're looking for. So while this is in a 3/8 trap, it is not a buy signal. Now, one of the tools that I have is just, it's just sort of a, you might not think of it as a tool, but I think of it as a tool. It's like having that special little screwdriver or special little pair of pliers. You don't use them a lot necessarily, but they're in the toolbox, you know. It's like a potato peeler. You've got it in the drawer. Do you really use the potato peeler all the time? Maybe some people do. But it's one of those little tools you have there when you need it. One of the tools I have is a simple bullish candlestick. So what this tool will tell me is that when the bulls start stepping in, and my idea of stepping in, oh, is this right here? See if I can do this again. I guess I can't. For some reason I've lost. All right, recorder's back up and running. So one of the tools that I have is I want to wait, or patience. Maybe that's the tool, actually. I'm going to wait for a buy signal. Buy signal is going to look like this. So the chart pattern that I'm trying to find is a chart pattern like this, where you have a trend, and then I'm trying to find a rise, a pullback. In this particular case, I want the gap, and then I want to pull back into the 3/8 trap. I've got everything here. I've even got the 3/8 trap. But what I don't have yet is that final little decision right there. That final little thing that says, okay, spend money. Because right now, nothing here says to spend money. Nothing. So when this tool here starts giving me green arrows, that tells me we're going to be making a new day high, because I have this set on daily high. That means I can go look at it. Now, based on that, when it starts, and I can't say if it's going to start in 5 minutes, which it's not, or will it start tomorrow, or even Wednesday for that matter. It might not even start till Friday for that matter. I can't predict when it's going to start. That's what the tool is going to do for me. So when it starts, I have targets already in place, and I will trade to those targets. So does that make sense? Does that make sense to anybody? So let's say today, which I would be surprised if it happened today. If FCX was to get bullish here, it'll show up in this tool, and I can go buy it. At least I can make that decision to go buy it. It's my choice in the end. It's my choice. So that's what I'm going to wait for. Let's see. There may not. Yeah, nothing else. I've kind of messed around with this. Here's the list that's on there, though, right here. We can go look at this, each and every one of them. Take VTR. Could VTR have been triggered today? Sure. Because what am I going to wait for? I'm going to wait for a 3/8 trap, and then I'm going to wait for a bullish candle. So why didn't I buy it? Well, I have another one of those little tools, and the tool is, to me, it's patience and common sense. My patience and my common sense, it says don't trade anything first thing in the morning. I didn't. So I didn't. And right now, I'm kind of glad that I didn't. I'm glad that I used that tool. Are there times that I didn't use that tool? I wish I didn't use it. Of course there are. More times than not, I'll take this one to the bank every single time. I'm glad I have this tool. Patience and common sense not to trade first thing in the morning. Now I'm talking the first 5, 10, 15, 20, maybe even 30 minutes. So, are we in that area right now? We are. So, if this started to alert, then I might go in there and buy that because it's doing everything I wanted it to do. VRT. See how VRT, I found this through the tools. This is the tool that I use to find all charts. See how we rallied up and we pulled back? That's exactly what I want. See how the trend indicator is green? That's exactly what I want. I want a 3/8 trap. Is this a 3/8 trap? Yes, it is. Is this the candle I like to buy? No. I'm going to use Malcolm there as an example. Malcolm might dig that candle. Malcolm might say, you know what? I dig that candle. Malcolm might buy that. Well, Rick doesn't dig that candle. That's okay. That's all right. So I might wait for a bullish candle. I might wait for, I'm going to wait for this to turn green. I'm going to wait for a green arrow is what I'm going to do and show up here. And we're going to go look at PSTG because I see it's popping up from our gap and trap as well. So we'll go look at that in a minute. I want to get through all these first. Look at AMT here. Look at AMT. Now, could AMT have been bought today? It could have. Why? But let's talk about our tools. I have another tool, again, patience and common sense. I'm not going to trade necessarily a lot today because, especially in the morning, because we have this whole election information. Now I have a tool that tells me why should I trade at risk? And I think that's adding risk. One of the greatest things we can do as a trader is put as many probabilities in our favor as possible. You guys all know that's what Vegas has done. That's what Reno has done. I mean, that's what they do. That's their business. Their business is not shiny lights. Their business is not craps tables. Their business is putting themselves in the number one spot. Their business is putting probabilities in their favor. Now, the reason I'm making the connection between trading in Vegas or Reno is because trading is gambling. Let's just cut through all the horse manure. Let's call it what it really is. All right? No one likes to say that. I don't mind saying it. But it is what we do. But to be a successful trader, you've got to put the probabilities in your favor. I think that chart pattern is in my favor. I think that trend is in my favor. I think that monkeying around with the election stuff the next 2 days is not in my favor. Now that's okay if you think it is in your favor. There's nothing wrong with that. I just choose to make it not my favor. So I'm not going to trade too much. So why don't I trade this? It's a 3/8 trap, or it was a 3/8 trap. Well, that's because it's not a 3/8 trap, and I'm going to have to buy it either below this line right here. Let's put this up there. There we go. We're going to have to buy it more on the pullback because that's one of the things that I like, or more on the breakout. And I don't want to buy it here because right here, it's still thinking about breaking out. Is it going to break out? It doesn't know, because if it did, it would have done it. Is it going to pull back? It doesn't know, because if it was, it would have. So my ideal buy areas are a little bit closer here or a little bit higher. To me, this is not an ideal buy area. So I'm going to wait. And I'm not concerned, because if AMAT's going to be bullish, this is something that just experience will tell you, that all bullish charts, let's say a chart, all trending charts, all, to go from this price right here, 106, up here to 160. There's one thing that I guarantee you will happen. I guarantee it. The stock will rise and it will pull back. It does not have to pull back exactly to that line, but I guarantee you there'll be a rest or a pullback. I guarantee you it'll move up. I guarantee you it'll pull back or rest again. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. I guarantee that. 100%. So that means, oh, wait a minute. That's what we're doing right here, isn't it? Yeah. That means it's likely to happen again. So if I miss this trade here, that's okay. It'll happen again. Guess what? It'll show up here. No problem. It'll show up again. So I've got the tools to make this happen. I've got the tools to do it. Let's see, Justin here says, Rick, so what you're saying, I call layers of probability. That's a great term, Justin. Thanks. Chart pattern is a layer. Time frame, is another. Time of day, news, volume increase. Yes, anything you want to put in there is a layer for you. Now, I might not use all those layers. You might not use the layers that I have. That's a great way to put it, Justin. Thank you. Excellent way to put it. Excellent way. So, all right, let's look at GDX. Okay, GDX is another one. Well, GDX is laying right in there right now. How come I'm not buying that? Well, I might buy this by the end of the day. That is true. Honestly, what I'm waiting for is a bit more of a pullback, but it might not pull back. So this is one that I am looking at hot and heavy to buy toward the end of the day. Why am I going to wait toward the end of the day? Because I've learned through experience that during the day, a lot of things can happen. And I would rather wait till it proves it can hold here or pull back. I will not be upset with a pullback. I will not. I'll be happy. If I wait to the end of the day, what if it's up here? Somebody might be thinking, well, I missed a good entry. I haven't missed anything. These are my targets up here. I mean, good God Almighty. Seriously, we have to buy it right here to make money. What if it runs up here? There's 12%. Seriously have to buy it here, or can you buy it here? Believe me, you'll make money. Okay. I'm going to wait for the setup. I'm going to wait for my tool that I use. This is one of them, to tell me that it's ready to be bought. It's not quite telling me that yet. However, this list right here, because I know it's on this list, if this starts breaking out to a new day high, this will show up. And I just might buy that. And that may not matter what time of day. But if it starts, I might. So just using that tool here. Apple was a short. So if this starts trending to the downside, it will show up on the short side of it, short side of the list. If it starts making a new day low, because I have everything set up on new day lows. I like that. I don't use intraday time frames. I use daily time frames. So if it starts showing up intraday low, then that will show us that those sellers are starting to work. And I'll see that in this tool right here. Okay. Excuse me. All right. Let's go look at here. I said PSTG. Let's go look at that. PSTG. Gap in here. Now, I'm looking for a gap within the past 14 days. So truthfully this could be the gap. This could be the gap right here. It really is not important where the gap is. It really isn't. And it could be picking up both of these as far as I know. What it's looking for is a gap between candles. Candle to candle, candle to candle. And I'm looking for a gap within 14 days and a pullback to the 3/8 trap. See? Pull back to 3/8 trap. So I'm going to put all the probabilities in my favor. Do we have a trend? Yes. Do we have a rally up and a pullback? Yes. Do we have buyers stepping in? Yes. I want to check one more thing right here. See where this high is? I'm going to put a line right there. Uh-oh. We might have a deal breaker. I might not want to buy that here. Okay. I'm not exactly super bullish on the market right now. So I might not want to take this chart because I don't think that this is the best looking of charts. You see how I used my tools? I used this tool to tell me to look at it. I use this tool to tell me it's trending. I used the candle to tell me that it's green, which this tool told me that too. But then I used the tool of charting up here to show me that we're right at a double top. Now, if this was to break out, that would be a different story. And I would have no problem buying it on the breakout and a pullback with that bullish activity there. Okay? Let's go take a look at CB here. CB, same thing. Maybe this is the gap. Maybe this is the gap. Again, that's not important to me. You know, I truly don't care how a clock works. I really don't care. As long as it gets me to the dinner table on time, I'm cool with that. I am super cool with that. So we've got a gap within 14 days. We've got to pull back to a 3/8 trap. Here, we'll do the math on this. We have a trend. I'm not going to look past this because this is all we get to see for right now. Otherwise, we'll just start dissecting a chart. Today's not about dissecting charts. Why couldn't that be bought? I mean, if somebody was inclined to buy, why not? Or wait for that breakout. I mean, you could have other reasons. For instance, the market's real wishy-washy. The market's real soft today. There's a ton of reasons not to buy this. But if we're just looking at our tools, not our intuition, but our tools, our hard tools, our physical tools, that's looking like a pretty good chart right there. Just a second, I need to check something here. Oh, let's see here. Let's take a look at, actually, I'm going to pause. Okay, recorder's back on. Wasn't there something here we saw turn green? Or maybe it was just up here. Let's see. Here, well, we'll look at that one. Here's another tool I use right here. This is a, I'm going to make this not do that. I'm going to make this stay on top. This has a few more down here. Look at Pepsi. With Pepsi, doing exactly what I wanted to do. This one's a little different because I wanted a max of 2% from the 17 EMA. A max of 2% yesterday or today. I believe this is yesterday or today. I want this trend. I want it to rally up. I want it to pull back. I want a buy signal. I don't really have a buy signal here. While this is doing exactly what I want it to do tool-wise, I'm going to choose not to take this trade. 1, because I think the market is too soft. 2, because I don't have a clear buy signal. And 3, because this might be a little bit wicky, and I would absolutely have to see buyers in here before I took a wicky chart like this. Okay? Are there any questions? I feel like I'm just rattling on, and I want to make sure I'm making some sense here. Okay, you got my attention. Look at IQV. Now, I'm gonna be. Well, I don't think there's any alerts on here. Oh, no, there is. New high, new low. So there's no real setup in this. This is just the S&P 500. That's all that is. You can see that 57% of the S&P is green. Okay, 43% is red. So the balance right now is in the bullish favor. We just looked at IQV, and there is no logic. I just looked at it. But as I look at it, now I've got some tools here that I can use. Like this right here. Let's, I don't know why this is doing this. My crayons are, there we go. So let's look at this. Here's a tool I'm going to use. I recognize, so I'm going to use myself as the tool. I recognize the bullish W pattern. I recognize the breakout. I recognize the gap. Recognize the rally. I recognize the pullback. These are all tools that we use to help us trade. So, anyway, I'm going to kind of stop there unless there's any questions or anything. Any charts you want to go look at? Anything anyone has to add? Oh yeah, I've got another ebook I'm going to set out here. This is the Blue Ice Failure. There we go. And let's get it posted over here. There we go. Alrighty. Hey, Malcolm. Will you go over your Apple trade? Oh, yeah, absolutely. So right now I'm bearish on Apple. Yeah, I'm bearish on Apple. Targets I have to the downside, 134.40, which is this low, 130.50. Then let's just get to business here and get down to 114, 115 up here, down here. Look, there's going to be some relief rallies. If we start to collapse, there will be relief rallies. Keep that in mind. But right now, I am short on Apple. So my stop on Apple is 138.25, very tight stop, and that doesn't make me bullish. Okay, that does not make me bullish. That just makes me throw risk away. That's all. So if we start moving up above today's high, today's high, whether it's today or tomorrow or the next day, doesn't matter. Above 138.25, I'm out of this, and that reduces risk. Again, I'm not bullish on this trade if that happens. What might happen with it, though, and I do not want to be, I don't want to be part of that, is if we close up here, we might try to run up and get into this T-line area, get into that red dot area, get into this area right about here, get into these lows. Well, I don't want that. I have no desire to see Apple get that upside down on me. Now, it moves up here and we get another sell signal, I'll get back short it, not a problem. Excuse me. So, let me put the 3/8 trap up here. There it is. And you can see that as a 3/8 trap short right now. Trindicators green, a tool I use. T-lines under the Trindicator, tool I use. T-lines pointing down, a tool I use. We're at the 3/8 trap, a tool I use. Does that make sense? While it has not come up today on the short scan, Friday it was coming up on the short scan. It hasn't come up yet today on the short scan. So just kind of waiting for it. Thanks, Malcolm. I hope that was helpful. All of a sudden, I see a little green here. I also notice on the S&P 500, right here on this scanner, we went from I think it was 56 or 57% green to 58% green. So we're getting a little movement here. Let's take a look at Ford. I'm going to get rid of this to clean up the chart. Ford, this is a 3/8 trap coming up. And again, I'm not making this up. There it is. My round bottom breakout scan. There's Ford. That's where I got it from. A tool. It just, whatever tools you want to use. Whatever tools you want to use. There we go. Anybody looking at Ford? Ford might be setting up. Let's see, Bob, what time tomorrow is your stock and commodities? I don't know, Bob. I'll have to look. If you're asking about it, it should be in the email that you received. But truthfully, I don't know what time tomorrow. I should know, but I don't know. Let's see my Netflix. What is this? Netflix in this pullback bounce off this support. First of all, this is okay. All right, I'm going to go with you for now. Off this support around 250 will be a good place to enter. Your view, please. No, I think that's a horrible place to enter. You left out I think, the most important part in your statement. I'm going to read this again, and I want everybody to listen to this. This is important. And thank you, Mike, for posting this. It says, Rick, Netflix, in a pullback bounce off this support. First of all, you used bounce. I don't see any bounce there. Off this support around 250. Okay, you're around 250. Will be a good place for an entry. No, be a horrible place for an entry. Okay? Now, if you would have done this. Now this is important. This is important. I'm going to do this. Right there. Based on the chart I see in front of me. A bounce, a rally, call it whatever you want. Above 73.10, that would be a good place, in my opinion. Okay? But you need those buyers in there. You need those buyers in there. You need that proof. Need that proof. I'm not into picking bottoms. That's just too uncool. So I want to see that candle or candles. And right now, if I look at this right here, this candle, this candle, this candle, that represents resistance. Holy moly. Look at this whole thing right here. So here's what we just talked about. You see that? That's resistance. Look at that right there. 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle. That's resistance. This is an important level. What you don't want to happen is this right here. This will kill an account. You get a little bit bullish. Yeehaw! Let's get into this, right? Wrong. We need to cut through this resistance first. And it's so close, it's worth the wait. It's worth the wait. Here's what happens to rookie traders or traders that struggle. You hear people talking about this. Hey, I bought Netflix right here. Yay, go for it. And you see this green candle. Rookie or struggling traders will jump in. All of a sudden, here's what the chart does. Rookie and struggling traders don't know what to do now. This is a true story. You do not know what to do. You are lost. This is what kills your account. This is what makes the 9 winners that you've had over the last umpteen days in one trade, take them all away right there. So rather than be in a hurry to catch that bottom, let it prove it. Let it prove it. Okay? Thanks, Maya. I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me get into that one a little bit, okay? All right. Right now, I do have to say that the buyers are winning today. I will say that. I do believe the buyers are winning today. Let's see, Rick, will you... Oh, I already did that one. Go over Apple. Thank you, Mai. I appreciate it. Anybody else? And then we're going to have to call it a day if no other questions. We can certainly look at whatever you like. I do appreciate all the questions. Take a look at CZR here. See, we're starting to put that bullish candle in. We're a 3/8 trap. This is a gap and trap setup. Trend indicator's moving up. This might not be a trade for some folks. It's not a trade for me. Not yet. But I want to go look at them. I apologize. Let's go take a look at TRMB. Nah, that's not a trade for me. It's doing, well, it's not doing anything. This is just the SPY running, is all it is. Yeah. Apple, by the way, this was I said Friday. This was coming up on the bearish gap and trap scan. Yeah, Friday it was coming up on the gap and trap. See, here's the gap to the downside, and then we were in that trap area Friday right here. Alrighty. Well, let's call it a day then. I want to thank everybody for being here. Please enjoy the ebooks. If you have questions, let me know. For those that don't have, hey, Malcolm, if you wouldn't mind tossing that link out. Anybody that might have a link. I don't have a link. I do. I just don't know where it is. To the 14-day trial, to the scanner. I think this is one of the most important tools a trader can have. I truly believe the scanner is a top-notch tool. Extremely professional, very accurate, and there's a lot of information there if you use the information. A lot of information if you use it. So thanks, Malcolm. All right, everybody. Thank you very, very much, everyone. I want to say thank you to everybody for being here. Thank you, Ed, for having me. And we'll see everybody next Monday. All right, you guys all take care. Thanks tons. Appreciate it.